can find at least. It's his first go in an HCT playoff, and if he wins and goes through to champs, then he could qualify champs into worlds. What a story that would be for this completely unknown player.
He has seemingly come out of nowhere. It's very similar to Hatul's story from the previous championship, where obviously he was well known within the local community, but on a global scale, he was pretty much an unknown entity and very quickly made a name for himself, I suppose we'll say, and is back competing once again this playoffs, whereas Cyhodel, if he could bring himself up to 4-0, that's in with a real good shot of getting through to the qualifying through to the Winter Championship.
Also, the more I find out, the more I like. He has fantastic fashion sense too, as that is a quite glorious sweater.
Lovely
like
bit of knitwear.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like something you would knit, Derek.
It does indeed.
So it's going to be the even Shaman versus the Hunter, and already Cyhodel off to a pretty quick start. There is the Rexar that you do need to keep an eye on, as it does help alleviate some of the pressure that, say, this kind of start has with the Murloc pressure early on. But sometimes it just isn't enough either, because then your 2 mana spent on building a beast is very slow compared to how fast even Shaman can get work done.
Yeah, I just really do not like this matchup as the Hunter at all. I just find that so quickly you lose board control. Like, you have to get off to such an explosive start, preferably going first, of course, and then just going Die Maul, Razor Maul, Flanking Strike, all those good, really high-tempo cards. Whereas here for Casey, even though he's had a lot of that go right for him, he had the obviously the Mole, as well as the bow as well, the candle shot, sorry. It's still just not even really close to being enough. He's instantly fallen massively behind.
Yeah, it's looks back here as well, just killing off the Razor Maul easily. Juggler goes down, so Cyhodel forsaking the 4 drops just to get this value down and say, okay, so you have to deal with this. And then even if you do, he has 3 very powerful 4 drops that, because of the hero power, he can just press hero power as well next turn. Look at this now, the pressure having to go onto the Knife Juggler with that flanking strike. And Cyhodel's like, okay, as long as this is an explosive trap that I have to consider, like most other things, I could just deal with or ignore.
Just ignore, exactly. As long as he doesn't attack any minions here, he can just quite happily keep on pushing all the damage to face, force Casey to make the trades, because while his board may not be that high damage at the moment, as soon as that Corpse Taker comes down, this is going to turn up the heat massively. So
I think, with no traps seen so far, I think putting the 1-1 to face is just correct every time. Because if it's explosive trap, okay, the 1-1 could have traded into another 1-1. But if it is, you still have your other 2 big minions, then you just put like Chain Gang or Corpse Taker behind that.
Well, I think he's already attacked face. I think he knows that it's an attack minion.
Oh, sorry, Flanking Strike. That
Yeah, that was played the turn before. So I think that he knows that it's Snake or Venom Strike.
Oh, so you just ignore it then?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Wait. Huh? With Taunt him as well, that gives me even more reason to want to ignore this.
Yeah, clearly having a little bit of trouble here, and I am just becoming a fan more and more of these days, just doing everything you can, not to play well around secrets, but just to never proc them. You just, if you can, you just leave them up forever and never give them a good opportunity for it. Whereas this play felt like a lot of trading in when he could have just pushed his advantage and gone face a lot, whereas now Rexar just mops up this board.
Yeah, and that was also down to just a misplay there, as he actually just over-traded into a 3-3 when he didn't need to, and he got, I think, a little bit flustered with the Direwolf positioning, which just altered everything he wanted to do and kind of messed up. I think it's a bit of a last-minute decision, and I missed it, I must have blinked, but with the knowledge of the secret and 3-4 drops that are very tanky, I would have just bopped him in the face and said, okay, beat 2 Chain Gangs, like beat 2 2-3s with your Rexar, fine, but my other stuff's still alive.
He had the actually somewhat rare liberty of knowing pretty much what the secret was. He could have narrowed it down to Snake or Venom Strike Trap, and then you just, like you said, happily ignore it and keep on pushing face.
Unfortunately, no Divine Shield or Plant tokens from the links there. Just a bit of a useless one, but still gets the job done of dealing with Corpse Taker #1.
And I think we might be seeing actually a really good example of what I like to call the Casey effect, which is when, due to the fact that Casey is one of the fastest Hearthstone players, full stop, he just plays at lightning speed no matter the situation. A lot of the time when he's up against newer players, they kind of feel the psychological need to match his pace. They play a lot of their turns a little bit too quickly. Maybe don't think about the necessary aspects of the turn, because for whatever reason, you just start matching the pace of your opponent.
It's definitely difficult as well, because if you think about when you're playing a game, the faster your opponent plays, as long as it's well played, of course, the less time you have.
Yes.
Because it's always on you, on you, on you. Okay, Yogo. Okay, Yogo. What are you doing? Yogo. And that just continues to build up, as you said, and just it gets worse and worse as time goes on if you can't get a quick handle on it.
And Casey pretty much is one of the closest players to being able to play well that quickly. Like, not even saying that Casey is the best Hearthstone player, but he's definitely one of the best at seeing what is very close to the best play instantly.
Right. Now that's a much better Razor Maul, being able to clean up this chain gang. Lich King, drop down, never a bad play on curve.
Yeah, very.
This Razor Maul just being alive is a little bit frustrating, and this lifesteal, along with the Rexar armor, means that so much damage that could have been gained early on, or even the damage that was done early on, is pretty much just negated at this point. It's like they've just reset the game. You have Lich King, I'll have Rexar, let's go.
And as it progresses, things should probably be in favor of Casey, I would say, with Deathstalker Rexar just providing so much value over the course of the game. But obviously, Saihodel, it's not only value that he has in his deck, it's a tremendous amount of pressure, actually. If he can find cards like Sea Giant, Alakir, a lot of these cards do a very, very high amount of damage.
And now the next hurdle for Saihodel is he had a misstep earlier with a card that you have to think about the board on, with the Direwolf.
Yes.
Now you have to think about Sea Giant as well, because I've messed it up. You know, everyone does it. Yeah, everyone does it. So you have to just think exactly what you want to do, exactly how much that mana cost changes as you play, and just make sure it's down as you want it, and not rush.
Absolutely. Slowing down a little bit. I like it.
Nice trade there, because the 4-8's almost certainly going into the Lich King. Or you presume that as Saihodel, so then you just take the value trade on the Lich King, get one more card and say, okay.
And it's so crazy how this one high-tempo turn, a very powerful turn from Saihodel, has put Casey into a situation where he was a little bit far behind to the situation where Hunter is worst in, where it's a big board of minions, like lots of big minions from your opponent, to which the only answer is a poisonous blowbat, as we see time and time again. Either that or slowly whittling away the board through lifesteals and rush cards off of the Builder Beast hero power.
Yeah, and even in this list, which is becoming more and more common now, just a single Hunter's Mark. And often that's one, difficult to hit minions like that are big and don't have taunt, as you can see on Sea Giant. And also just, you're even one, like that's one thing dead. Well, he already runs 2 Sea Giants, so that's already too many.
Damage here for Saihodel is going to start getting pretty nutty with Frostmourne, as that creates another immediate big board in 3 turns all at once.
Wait, he can set up a Tundra Rhino Hyena turn. Not sure how powerful it's going to be, but he can do it, and he's going for it. I love it.
That's sick. If he can munch up 3 beasts with the Frostmourne.
Yeah. Especially if like Casey just has to play a Hyena this turn, because well, he's not just going to pass. Well, depending on his Zombeast, of course. But he might just have to play a Hyena, and it's like, why, thank you.
And also, he can self-hex one of his totems to turn it into a frog, which is a beast, so it also gets charged.
And then somehow get Lightning Bolt and Lightning Bolt the frog, and it just all goes well. Oh, the Lynx is... This is weird, right? Because if... Oh, okay, you can't do the extra damage right now. So you can't actually just kill off the Scarab with the weapon. But still, you could just hex it.
Yeah, it's a weird term for Saihodel, because you obviously don't want to chop a frog with the Frostmourne. You would much
because then when the Frostmourne summons the Hyena, the frog defends the Hyena and the Rhino, and then they have to kill the frog, which buffs the Hyena.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The classic love story between frog and hyena.
Okay, so...
Thanks, production.
So he's going to discover the secret. Freezing trap, a little bit frustrating, but not much Saihodel can do. He can't just be like, well, it might be freezing, so I'm just not going to attack with my 8/8. But now the Hyena comes down. Just taking his time to go, right, this giant does go to 7 mana, right? If I play this, it's still playable.
I will not be rushed.
Is it worth it?
Probably right. I mean, I am still wondering, even though you said it partly in jest, the hyena rhino thing.
Stuff like
yeah,
this,
yeah,
Derek.
like that's just a powerful combo.
Well, my query here is, unless he's going to kill a 1/1, right? Well, one, that's a lot of damage into a Lynx if he does it. Yeah, okay, so he kind of had to if he's going to play the hyena, because you can't just play the hyena and then it just dies instantly. Like, why even bother? It's just 2 damage, right?
Yeah.
Well, the hyena's worth way more than that. And again, Saudel, the misplay emote there, basically, you know.
Because he killed the Lynx instead
These
of the
things
hyena.
happen.
Yeah.
It's like, oh wait, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Did he think the Lynx buffed the hyena?
Well, I think he thought he should have killed the Spring Paw, because now Casey can Dire Frenzy the Spring Paw instead of the Lynx, which is slightly better. It's a very, very slight misplay, but he should have killed Spring Paw.
Played hyena.
Yeah, I mean, that's an entirely different line.
Yeah.
The slight technical mistake, was not killing off the Spring Paw. I mean, arguably the mistake was not going face there. Like, we could have seen a lot more pressure just to try and close out the game. But I guess with the Beetle there, it's a little bit too much.
And already on 28 now, 30 health, of course. That's a long road ahead of you to try and get this damage down. It looks like Casey might be able to fight back now. I mean, look at this board. And this is what Even Shaman struggles with. Even Shaman cannot come back onto a board without doing silly things, right? You know, like Haggard, for example.
That is a silly thing, though, in this Frostmourne. When he kills off one of these minions, I suppose it doesn't really matter which, but you go for the Beetle just as the slightly higher statted one.
And none have Rush, right?
They have Charge, because the Rhino in there as well. So you push them all face, you go Fire Elemental on this board.
Well, they can't get onto the board unless they do silly things, and Frostmourne into all these beasts is a silly, silly thing, and Derek, I love it.
Who is this man?
You guys can't see, hopefully at some point in the next weeks we get clips of this, but Derek literally cannot stay in his chair during this game. It's, once again, a Shaman has changed class. Why can't everyone just stick to the class they play? A Shaman is now a Hunter. A Priest became a Warrior. It never ends, Derek. It never ends.
I'm telling you, man, Hodel belongs on the front page of reddit.com/r/madlads, because he is just...
I wondered where you were going with that, Derek. It could have been many directions, but I'm glad you went with that one. So, okay, I'll be honest. I've lost track, but what does Zul'jin even do at this point?
I mean, the general rule is it plays a bunch of secrets, maybe it kills off something, and he'll get a bunch of wolves. Like, it won't win him the game on the spot.
Is he one off?
Well, I'm just wondering, I was looking at Zul'jin, but he might just have lethal right now.
Yeah, he's 22, I think.
Oh, okay.
And with no Hyena, there's no way he can, like, trade to gain more damage.
Yes, I concur.
Okay, good. Wait. No, wait.
Oh, no, wait, could he get
two
hex? No, wait.
He can get 2 attacks, right?
He
hexes
his own minion next to the Flame Tongue.
Because it's a fresh minion.
It can attack phase. What?
Wait, okay, Saudel. Become a god. Become legendary, please.
Oh my god! That is so sick!
What a game! We do not disappoint here at playoffs as Hodel, a challenger coming out of nowhere, has maybe the best lethal I have ever seen in Hearthstone. I'm going to throw that out there right now. That was amazing.
That was so sick. This man he's ushering in a new age of Hearthstone.
Yeah. Everyone go home. He should just qualify straight through to championship. Done. And only him. It's all we need.
Yeah.